guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome back to another Rate the Transfer Rumour show. That's right, this is the show that rates the transfer rumour. Daz is with us today, looking like a monk. How are you, Daz?
Hi, Keith. On the way to the barber's now for this, so hopefully you'll sort me out.
Do it with the scissors, do it with the scissors. Cut it first. But we've got five players up for discussion today, and we might as well get straight into it. Number one is Nathan Sheppard from Brentford B to Dundalk. Now, Nathan Sheppard is an under-21 Welsh goalkeeper. As I said, was with the Brentford B side, was captain of their side. Dundalk are actively looking for a goalkeeper. They only have Peter Cherry, and I know they're looking at the British market. How likely do you see this link?
Yeah, geez, that's an interesting one. For anyone who may not know, Brentford don't really have underage systems. They have a B team that competes in the lower leagues in England, if anyone doesn't know that, if not aware of it. And a few of their players are over the age of 20, in this team. It's how they went with it, and it's different. Obviously, it leads into transfers then like this, where you might have a goalkeeper who has played quite a number of games at a men's level, shall we say, and in a professional environment. So it's a good feeder for clubs that's, around the place and abroad, like Dundalk. I think Dundalk fans might be a bit worried that they're being linked with abroad keepers again, more so than maybe going for, an Alan Manis or a James Talbot in the League of Ireland that they know will be solid and safe. But
they probably can't get them. They probably can't get them, let's be honest about it, though, those goalkeepers.
I think they could. I think they could have spent money when no one got them if they wanted to, but they're not. They're going to get, looking at the abroad market, like you said. I do definitely think there's a link there because it's a good pathway for a UK player to come over and try and either forge a career here or elsewhere. So, and Dundalk are looking for a goalkeeper, like you said. It's the first I've heard of it. I don't really know much about Sheppard, to be honest with you. I don't really know anything about him. But
Welsh under-21 keeper would give him a bit of pedigree, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. He's obviously one of the top Welsh underage keepers at that moment in time when he was playing with them, or he's got something about him that he was picked for the national team. And obviously Wales aren't the worst team either in the world. They're pretty okay, especially at youth level, the players coming up. So I hope for Dundalk's sake to do so. He's good. It'll be a new addition to the league. For me, I would rate this as a 5. Haven't really heard too much about it, but it's interesting. And if he does come over, I hope he does really well for Dundalk, because they need to get back to where they were in recent years, and be interested to see a new player in the league. So I'll give this one a 5, but it could be more likely than 5. Who knows?
Next up is Bastian Hery to Finn Harps, and of course Bastian Hery's left Derry City. He was at Bowes last season as well, and we've talked about him to death before. He was poor at both clubs, struggled to get in. The link with Finn Harps, how do you see that one? I know Finn Harps are a little behind seemingly in terms of getting players in. Would you see that as a bit of a panic, or how do you see it?
I see this one like what Bowes did that time as a gamble. This could really rejuvenate his career, and he could be a real standout player for Finn Harps. Like I was hoping he would have been with Bowes that time, and probably Derry were hoping that too, and he wasn't. But look, not to go into too much detail about him, Keith, we all know the qualities he has. We all know the player he is on his day. If Finn Harps and Ollie Horgan could unlock that form, they have a player in their hands. But the only thing is, Finn Harps don't want to be paying half their wage bill to one player who might not play the rest of the season. That's a very big gamble for Finn Harps in their position. They have to be careful about who they recruit. They need workhorses. They need players that they might be the best footballer in the world, but they'll give you 100% all the time. They don't really have any luxury players like other teams might have, or any passengers in their team. So, but the thing is, I think, he's probably living up there. Obviously, he probably relocated when he went to Derry. So that could play a factor, location-wise, geographical-wise. But I think if Finn Harps signed him, I hope he does well for him. I think Finn Harps fans might not want him. They might be looking at other players. Maybe they get 2 or 3 players for him. But again, it depends on the wages, Keith. But look, he is a smashing player on his day, and I actually would put this one high enough. I'd put this one as a 6. I think there's definitely something there, and I think it'd be interesting to see how he would do with Finn Harps. I think he probably would do well, but because the fact that the level of Finn Harps are playing now, he might stand out that bit more because he should be their best player on paper, bar obviously, a few others. But I think he would be the best player on paper for them. But it'd be interesting, but as a 6.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, he's running out of options as well. But the next one up is David Odumusu, Drogheda goalkeeper, young keeper, we all know. He's been linked with a move to Bolton Wanderers. He's had a trial there, or is currently over a trial there, one or the other. And Bolton Wanderers obviously in League One as well, and middle enough at this minute of time, but reasonably big club. How would you see that move? Do you think it's a move he should be looking to make?
Yeah, I definitely think he should be. The only thing is, with a goalkeeper, the fact that he's playing regularly as he was, he's grown a lot more than someone who might not be if they're an under-23 keeper.
Yeah,
he could, if he went over or was in the 23s, he could be there for another 2 years or 3 or 4 years before he even makes an appearance, let alone goes out and playing. And he just somewhere you want to break the cycle of development because he's doing it so well. But the chance of a UK team coming in, the money that they'll have, the opportunities they might present. We've seen where other players go over and they flourished and they really went on and done really good things. And even like Rowan Curtis and all, he went over and he's doing so well and he got into the Ireland team and everything, like really, really good stuff. And I was actually surprised he wasn't linked with Dundalk. I'm sure they've met an approach and he was like, no, he's waiting for a foreign club to come in, a UK club. And Bolton, a massive club, Premier League for years. Everyone knows them. They're world famous because they've been in the Premier League for so many years. And I'm sure the people in the background there want to get back there eventually. And it could be a very good project for him to go there and try and get in. But, in terms of him playing, he need to be looking at that. And he's moving now in the middle of their season. So I might be taking a half season in the sidelines and see next season, again, breaking the side of development. But I do think there's something in it. And I put this one quite high, potentially at a 7 or an 8 for me. I think he's going to move abroad. And Bolton in League One, he's most likely to play there. Down on Southampton in the Premier League, will they be 4th or 5th choice and in the 23s team. So yeah, I put this as a 6 or 7, potentially a 6 maybe.
You're going to go for a 6, is it?
6.
Playing it safe. Now I'm going to hit you in the face with this one, to be honest with you. Andy Lyons to Crewe Alexander in League One.
Yeah, Andy Lyons, we all know that I'm one of his biggest fans. I really rate him as a player, and it's been very quiet on his front since the close season. We haven't heard too much about him being linked with any clubs or even signing back with balls. I think
literally kind of today was the first link I've heard with Andy Lyons to a club, and Crewe Alexander, yeah.
Yeah, and there you go. And I think Andy's probably holding out for a UK move now. He's 21, 22 now. He's a vast amount of experience for someone at his age. He's been Bowes number 1 right back since Derek Pender left. And before that, he was playing underneath Pender. He was kind of deputising Verne when he wasn't in the team. So vast experience for someone his age. And, we all know what kind of a player he is. An Ireland 21 international as well, let's not forget. So I think the world's his oyster at the minute, and he's going to be waiting for a UK club to come in. He, he's a dependable right back. We all know what he can do on his day, and when he's in form, he's one of the best players in the league, I think, and one of the best right backs in the league. Crewe Alexander, unknown, they've produced a good few players over the years, notably one that went on to do big things. Well, he kind of went to a big club, Nick Powell. People might remember him when he had his time at Man United. A few other players have moved on from Crewe Alexander, but they like to play young players, so I think he might get in if he was to go there. Potentially a good move for him. But the fact that we haven't heard much, anything about it so far, I think it's probably quite high that he's going to go this season. I thought he would have went last season or season before, and he didn't. I probably put it as a 7, Keith. And if Andy Lyons does go, I want to wish him all the best. He owes Bowes nothing. He was a very, very good player for us. He's very talented, very level-headed, and he's a really good lad. So all the best to him if he goes to Crewe Alexander, and if it doesn't work out, come back to Bowes. But hopefully he signs back with Bowes, and I'm wrong. But I put this as a 7. I'd say it's quite high.
We started with Dundalk. We're going to finish with Dundalk. Mark Connolly, former Irish under-21 international defender, he's now 30, linked with Dundalk. Was on loan with Dunfermline, who were in the Scottish Championship there after, I think he done his cruciate ligament at his parent club, Dundee United. He was actually linked with Pats last year, and Stephen O'Donnell was a Pats last year now at Dundalk. So how do you see the rumour in that one?
Yeah, if it's the same player I'm thinking of, obviously anyone watching, we don't discuss this. This is all Keith always says it to me. It's that show, he kind of just goes through. I don't know who he's going to throw out to me, but if I'm picking up the same player, I think he's played for Crawley Town for a good number of years, if I'm right. And if I am right, I have watched him quite a lot. I've watched him quite a lot, so I do know him. At the time, Crawley had a lot of Irish players. That's why I watched him quite a lot at the time. I think Connor Henderson was on the team then at that time as well with him. But everything I seen from him, Key, I thought he was a very good player. At this time, he was playing League 2, League 1 level, but I thought he was a little bit above that. I'm quite surprised over the years he's kind of went under the radar a little bit. No one really mentioned him, didn't move on to any bigger clubs, but he's just one of those players I think just didn't really get a big opportunity. But I think moving to Dundalk would be a good move for him if he wants to come back home. Dundalk obviously recruiting a new team, a new manager, new management. They wanted to go and try and get back to where they belong. And I would see this one being quite high. And I think he's a good player for anyone who's just not aware of him. He's tall, he's strong, he's an old-fashioned kind of centre-back, and he's able to ping a pass. First of all, I remember of him watching him a few years ago anyway. I've actually heard of this link about last year. I heard he was trying to look into coming home.
Yeah.
I put this one high, probably about an 8 for me. I'd say this one will happen. Dundalk, he'll go to Dundalk. Dundalk will offer money and he'll start. So a good sign for Dundalk, hopefully, if he does come back and goes over to them.
Yeah, that's the one you see more likely of all the deals. Anyway, look, guys, we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. Hit your subscribe button if you haven't subscribed, your bell notification button, so keep up to date with the videos. And let us know what you think down in the comments as well. Thanks. Cheers, lads.